Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Your business, keep up with what's going on here in the great city of Houston. And interesting story I saw about a group called the Manufacturing Skills Standards Council and an arrangement they have made with Houston Community College. And I thought I would talk a little bit about it here on this segment. Got Leo Reddy, and he is with MSSC. And I'm sure you played a role in this agreement. Leo, welcome to the program. Tell us a little bit about yourself and MSSC.
Thank you, Kevin. MSSC is an industry-led nonprofit training and certification body. We issue industry-recognized nationally portable certifications. If you think of programs like the Cisco system or the Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer or the American Welding Society, we're that type of organization. What we do at MSSC is we train and certify people for frontline work. That's entry level through first line of supervision in manufacturing and logistics. By logistics, we mean transportation, distribution, and logistics. In that particular area, we are the national leader in that particular function.
Okay, and tell us about the arrangement with HCC.
Well, HCC, we've worked with them in the past to some degree. We give two certifications, as I mentioned, one for manufacturing, one for logistics. They already were working with our logistics certification, but they decided to expand and add in our manufacturing one. I should add that they're doing this as part of their decision generally to embrace the NAM-endorsed skills certification system. That's the National Association of Manufacturers, of which MSSC is a part. We're at the foundational level, but also includes the certain national certifications like the National Institute for Metalworking Skills, the American Welding Society, the Society of Manufacturing Engineers. It's sort of a concept of stackable industry certifications, but they're going for broke, basically, on the full NAM system, and we're just delighted that they're doing that.
Mm-hmm. And tell us what this means for them as far as being an educational institution. Does this give them an edge over other schools?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think if you follow education carefully, you'll see that the needle is beginning to, the pendulum, I should say, is beginning to move a little bit back from the almost single-minded focus on the idea the purpose of education is to prepare students for four-year liberal arts degrees, which is kind of the tradition, into getting more people, as many people as possible, ready for productive employment. And I think that's driven by the soaring cost of college is a major factor, but also the employer community. Certainly in manufacturing logistics, it really needs more highly skilled workers, and there are a lot of people out there, millions of people who are trying to credential their skills. So this is all part of a broad trend in education, more towards what we call career tech ed, industry certifications, applied learning. That whole area of education is beginning to pick up steam. Let me add quickly, Kevin, that the Texas is one of the reasons I enjoyed coming to Houston was that Texas is really probably the leader in this movement. I may call it that at this point. Governor Perry last November came out with a skills strategy focusing on those elements, faster training, industry certifications, and so forth. And as I think you know, the legislature has passed 5 bills several weeks ago, which the governor announced, which are doing the same thing. So you see now in the high schools, for example, is they're opening up more space and moving away from the purely academic subjects to what we call the career tech ed pathways in different sectors of the economy. So what we're trying to do here, this whole movement, is an effort to get the schools to align better with the needs of the employer community to employ people more quickly and more efficiently. And Texas, with this legislation, is moving well on this, and we're very pleased to see that happen.
Yeah, HCC is one of the larger community colleges in Texas, but of course there's many others. Are you in negotiations with other community colleges?
Well, yeah, right now we have our delivery system for our training is through community colleges, high schools. We've got about 22, mostly community colleges we're working with already. We also had a very good meeting last week with Lone Star, another very large school in your area. They're moving in this direction. more towards the employer-driven concept of education. And but we're dealing with a lot of other schools as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so practically, what I understand is that students will be able to get additional certification beyond their degree, and this additional certification will help them in their credentialing for their next job search.
Well, think about a typical high school student. They will be able to get their high school diploma at the same time they will be able to pick up at least one industry credential, one industry certification. This will enable them to, if they want to go get a job right after high school, these certifications help a lot since they're all employer-driven. If they want to earn some money, then come back to school later. If they just want to go into post-secondary, they'll also be able to build on those credentials and add other credentials. Let me just give you a wonderful example of that. Also in Texas, we like Texas a lot in this area, but in Alamo, for example, the Alamo Academies program there in San Antonio, they have a program where the large companies sponsoring this essentially pay for junior year internships and senior year internships for people who are getting these certifications. For example, in Toyota there, for somebody to get this at their end of their junior year, it's an 8-week internship. They have to have an MSSC safety credential. And after their senior year, they have to have an MSSC quality credential. We have various credentials in manufacturing and logistics both. And the nice thing about that is the companies participating down there are funding this because they're paying money for these folks, the young folks, to come in. So it really, at the same time, they're articulating credit arrangements with the Alamo Community College. And Houston's following the same model, basically. So that's a wonderful situation for a student and their parents to be in high school. It gives them a lot of options. It gives them some advanced placement in community college, which saves them money. It enables them to get a job, which also is very helpful. Mm-hmm. And so this is kind of a movement that's picking up speed around the country, but Texas is very active, and I think the Alamo example is particularly interesting.
Absolutely. Very interesting. Thanks so much to Leo Reddy. I appreciate you being on the program, telling us about it, and again, learning more about this great group that is helping HCC become, again, a premier class community college doing great work. And I appreciate the props for Texas. We, of course, are very positive about our own state. We create, generally, for the last few years, more jobs than the rest of the states combined, which is why our state's one of the fastest growing. And so thanks so much for your time. The website to learn more about Leo Reddy's organization, MSSCUSA.org, MSSCUSA.org. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, when we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at USDailyReview.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business.